Hey everybody, my name is Rydo, and in preparation for Blackrock Mountain, which is available for pre-order right now and is coming out in just a few days, I want to go over all of the 31 cards that have been made available to us to see at least until um, until it comes out April 2nd. So, trick to this is we go to crafting mode, which has been moved in a recent update. It used to be up here, and then we change the sets from all sets to Blackrock Mountain. It says no matches found. So what the trick here is we need to include soulbound cards. Soulbound cards are cards that you cannot get through card packs. Blackrock Mountain is an adventure, and it will give you some cards after you beat the adventure, but that's the only way you're going to get them. So how are we going to see this? First card, Druid of the Flame. Uh, all of them are going to say Blackrock Mountain here. This is a common card. This white gem, it means it's common. This is a little bit flavored text. So we're not going to bother with any of those. Uh, Hopefully you know what Hearthstone is, so you can recognize that the number here is the mana count. How many mana is it going to cost to summon? The number here is the attack, and the number here is the health. So the Druid of the Flame has a special ability. Special abilities are here. To transform into a 5/2 minion or a 2/5 minion. So for 3 mana, that is pretty good. It's a pretty good card right there. To be a 5/2 on the third turn, it's pretty good. Now, this is a Druid only card. For each class, there are going to be 2 cards in Blackrock Mountain, and then at the end are some neutral cards we will look at. So for the Druid, he gets Druid of the Flame, and he gets Volcanic Lumberer. And that is a 9 mana, 7 attack, 8 health creature. It costs 1 less for each minion that died this turn. This is a new feature in Blackrock Mountain that is going to reappear on several cards, that it's just going to cost 1 less for the number of creatures that died. So there is Unleash the Hounds as a card that from a previous expansion. Unleash the Hounds gives you a lot of 1/1 hounds, I believe, and then you usually use those to attack a bunch of enemies. So you might kill 5 or 6 hounds in one turn, get this down to a 3 mana. That would be a pretty good combo right there. So those are the 2 druids. One 3 mana, one 9 mana. There are only 10 mana in the game at maximum, so if you have anything above a 10 mana, you have to do something quite unique to summon it. So for the Druid, we have Quick Shot. It is a 2 mana spell card. Doesn't have an attack or health because it's a spell card. It says deal 3 damage. If your hand is empty, draw a card. That's pretty good. That's something new. We've never had if your hand is empty, draw a card. Uh, and that's a hunter card. The other one is Core Rager. 4 mana beast. It's a special type of creature. It's a beast classification. 4 attack, 4 health. Battle cry, if your hand is empty, gain +3/+3. It's possible you could make a hunter deck that where your hand is empty a lot of the times. Often when I'm playing Hearthstone, my hand ends up being empty when I don't want it to be. So for the Mage, now we have 2 cards. The first one is a 3 mana Flame Walker. After you cast a spell, deal 2 damage randomly split among all enemies. So all enemies means it will hit either one of your opponent's minions or your opponent's main character, their face or their hero. Uh, so always important to take note whether it says all enemies or all minions. Pretty good card. It's 3 mana for a 2/4. That alone is a pretty good card. And then cast a bunch of cheap spells. Yep. So then we have Dragon's Breath, 5 mana spell. It deals 4 damage, which is kind of low for 5 mana. But it costs 1 less for each minion that died that turn. Same stipulation as we saw before. So if you had 3 or 4 die in the same turn, then it would only be a 2 or 1 mana thing. And if you have 5 die in a turn, well then it's a free card, no mana whatsoever. So let's see the Paladin. Paladin has Solemn Vigil, 5 mana spell. You draw 2 cards, cost 1 less for each that has died this turn. Next one is the Dragon Consort, 5 mana, 5 attack, 5 health. Dragon style creature. The next dragon you play costs 2 less. That's pretty good. Pretty good for a paladin. So we're into the priest hero. A 1 mana Twilight Whelp. If you're holding a dragon, gain +2 health for its battle cry. So it's 1 mana, 2 attack, 1 health. But then if you are holding a dragon, gain +2 health. So if I'm understanding this correctly, that means if you have a dragon in your hand. So this is one of those speculations or stipulations, I mean, in which if the card game was being played by 2 people with real cards versus being played on a computer that can check these things without letting the other player really know, it would be required for you to turn the dragon card you have around and show it to the other player. But since this is an online game only, I imagine you will get the +2 health bonus without actually showing your opponent what the dragon card is that you hold in your hand, which is a unique advantage. It would be kind of cool if they went the other direction with it though, and they did show the opponent your cards. I have not seen any cards in Hearthstone where you show your opponent the cards in your hands. Until you play them at least. The other one is Resurrect. For 2 mana, it's a spell that summons a random friendly minion that died this game. This game, wow. So at any point in the game, for 2 mana, you can resurrect it. Just a random choice. So now we're into the Rogue. The Rogue has a 2 mana spell called Gang Up. If you can't see this, that's true for me too. I cannot make out what this is said. The ghosting and transparency on this is not good. So sorry if you can't see that. I hope you can see the words at least. So Gang Up is a spell. Choose a minion, shuffle 3 copies of it into your deck. Any minion on the deck or any minion in your hand. I want to see how this one plays, particularly. Whether it means you can do it to any minion that's been summoned or any minion in your hand. Because if I have like a Kel'Thuzad or something, some really legendary creature in my hand, and I can put 3 copies in my deck, that might be just a massive game changer. Super overpowered, possibly. And then the other card is the 5 mana Dark Iron Skulker. Battle cry of deal 2 damage to all undamaged enemy minions. I'm not sure I've seen any card that does 2 damage to all undamaged enemy minions, but it's a logical progression. For 5, it's a 4 attack and a 3 health, plus that battle cry. I think that's a pretty balanced card. So next we have the Shaman. We have Lava Shock. Deal 2 damage, unlock your Overload mana crystals. This one in particular is a just potential way overpowered game changing card. For 2 mana, you could unlock all 8 other of your unlock crystals, maybe even more than 8 locked crystals. You could do some major stuff with this. So I want to see some real professionals play it with Lava Shock. That's just like a game changer. And that's on the Shaman. The other thing they get is a 4 mana Fire Guard Destroyer. It has a battle cry of gaining 1 to 4 attack, which is just random, and then it has an overload of 1, which an overload is the lock crystals the other card was talking about. So it would lock 1 crystal. Uh, I'm not sure if a spell damage plus 1 card would modify this. It shouldn't, but there should be cards that eventually come out that would modify this. Gain 1 plus either 1 through 4 attack, so that it like you could get a plus 1 spell attack, and it would be gain 2 through 5. But even without that battle cry, it's still a pretty good card for 4 mana. But then you have the overload problem. So moving on to Warlock, you have a 3 mana spell of Demon Wrath, deal 2 damage to all non-demon minions. That works with Warlock pretty good. It's a very logical progression of the cards. It doesn't really do anything that weird. And then you have a 3 mana Imp Gang boss. Whenever this minion takes damage, summon a 1/1 Imp. Yeah. Again, very logical. Seems like that would help a Warlock player pretty good. Warrior. You have a 2 mana spell of Revenge. Deal 1 damage to all minions. If you have 12 or less health, deal 3 damage instead. Ooh, that could be used pretty well. There's a loading bug in the game, by the way. Notice how it sometimes doesn't render the picture, sometimes it doesn't render the base. So sorry about that, but tell it to Blizzard. They're the creators of this game. I found the bug for you. Anyways, the Warrior, that's what we're on, Warrior, yeah. Also has the 4 mana Axe Flinger. Whenever this minion takes damage, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. This looks like it might work pretty good. There's a card that is very similar to this, where whenever it takes damage, it gives a shield to yourself, your hero. So I could see those 2 cards really working together for a good strategy. And then we're on to the neutral cards. Neutral cards can be used by any hero, and they will make up the bulk. So we have a 1 mana Dragon Egg. Whenever this minion takes damage, summon a 2/1 Whelp. So that's interesting. Instead of being a death rattle, where it summons 2/1 Whelp when it's dead, you could potentially summon 2 from a Dragon Egg. Next one is a 3 mana Blackwing Technician. Battle cry: if you're holding a dragon, gain a +1/+1. Holding a dragon? Does that mean it's in your hand, or does that mean it's on your field? A lot of these are going to be if you have a dragon, do something. Next one is a 4 mana Dragonkin Sorcerer. Whenever you target this minion with a spell, gain +1/+1. This is interesting written. So the way this reads is that as my own player, whenever I personally target my own character with a spell, which sometimes happens, but not as often as the opposite, it will get +1/+1. So, but when the enemy targets it with a spell, nothing will happen. 4 mana Hungry Dragon. Summon a 1 random 1 cost minion for your opponent. So for the fact that it is 4 mana but gives you 5 attack and 6 health, the downfall of it is it's going to summon a random 1 cost minion for your opponent. It still might be worth it, but it might not. It depends how you risky you want to be. Next one is a 5 mana Blackwing Corruptor. Battle cry: if you're holding a dragon, deal 3 damage. It's 5 attack, 4 health. Next one is the 5 mana Grim Patron. Whenever this minion survives damage, summon another Grim Patron. So you could fill up a field of these if you could damage it yourself once, and then damage the next one once, and then damage the next one once, and then damage it to the point where you have 4 by doing just 1 damage to it. And then if you did 1 damage to all your guys one more time, you would have 8. And I think 8 is the maximum you can have on the field. So, some potential there. This might work really well with Bloodlust too, because Bloodlust gives like a +3 attack to all your guys. So if you have a bunch of these guys, you could do a lot of damage in 1 attack. Next one is the 6 mana Draconoid Crusher. If your opponent has 15 or less health, gain +3/+3. Oh, this one seems a little too cheap. Even at 6 mana, to start off as a 6/6 dragon, but also if you get your opponent down to 15 health or less, it becomes a 9/9. This seems like a great card to play. Next one is a 6 mana Emperor Thracian. At the let me try that again. Emperor Thracian? I don't know. At the end of your turn, reduce the cost of cards in your hand by 1. 6 mana, 5 attack, 5 health. But every single time you end your turn, your cards get cheaper. All of them. So a 2 mana card at the end of 1 turn is 1 mana. At the end of the second turn, it's 0 mana. And all your other cards get cheaper. You could go potentially for 10 turns with this guy summoned, and then every card in your hand would be free, and you could just play them all. And that's a worst case scenario if you had a 10 mana card. This is a legendary card, by the way. That's why you get the little dragon on the frame and the little gold here. Legendary cards are rarer and harder to get, and there's sometimes some limitations on how many you can have. Alright, almost done. The next one is a 6 mana Volcano Drake. Costs 1 less for each minion that's died this turn. It is a 6 attack, 4 health. It's pretty good still, I'd say, because of this stipulation. If this came out for 3 mana, that'd be a great card. Next one is another legendary, a 7 mana Reened Black Hand. Battlecry: if you're holding a dragon, destroy a legendary minion. It is 8 attack, 4 health. 4 health is a little low. Destroy a legendary minion. How many times would this really work? I imagine in high level play with experts, Reened Black Hand is going to get used a lot. But personally, in my opinion, for low level players like me and probably most people out there, I wouldn't put this in my deck. It seems like it's not really worth it. Maybe, maybe not, but I wouldn't have it high on my list. Next one is the 8 mana Chromagus. Whenever you draw a card, put another copy into your hand. 8 mana, 6 attack, 8 health. Pretty good card. It could go in some really wild directions. If you have this card summoned and you just want to, you can play some of the other cards we've seen that puts 3 copies of something in your hand. With this guy summoned, you draw those things. You may have 9 copies by the time you're done just between those two cards. Plus the original card, which would have meant 10 versions of the same card. This next one is a 9 mana, let's see, Majordomo Executus. Majordome Executus, I guess. 9 mana, Death Rattle. Replace your hero with Ragnaros, the Fire Lord. So, I'm not sure what making your hero Ragnaros is going to really do. I think there's a card that already does that when you summon a creature, so this might actually be another way to summon Ragnaros instead of creating a new hero character, which is interesting. 9 mana, 9 attack, 7 things. I think if you like Ragnaros, and I'd have to do some research to find out if I really do, this might be a great card to have in your hand. Even if you don't like Ragnaros, it seems like it will do some different things. And then the last one is Nefarian, a 9 mana, 8 attack, 8 health dragon. Battle cry, add 2 random spells from your hand. To your hand. Sorry. Add 2 random spells to your hand from your opponent class. So instead of random spells that would be neutral spells, it is very unique spells. Potentially, depending on which hero you're playing as, that might be really helpful. It might change a lot of things up. I don't know of any real hero cards though that are specifically way better than the neutral cards. If anything, I mostly play with neutral cards. And there are gold versions, I will mention that. Gold versions are just a aesthetic difference. They just have gold borders on them when you get them. And they cost a lot more of the currency of dust, which you can see right now I have none. No arcane dust to build anything. But these are all soulbound ones anyway, so getting the gold versions of them, I don't know how you would do it. That's gonna be, I guess you craft them, can be crafted after completing the Druid class challenge in Blackrock Mountain. So there's some requirements there. You will definitely be getting the soulbound cards unlocked by completing the different things in the game. So if you've been paying attention to the bottom of the screen, you've been seeing the exact reasons to how to unlock all those cards, but you will just unlock them as you play your way through Blackrock Mountain, I'm sure. And then if you want the gold version, you're gonna have to spend a lot of dust. And as you can see, I don't. These cards look pretty good. I wish there was a lot more. It's still nowhere near the amount that came out with the Goblins vs. Gnome expansion. I mean, as you just saw me quickly flip through all of Goblins vs. Gnomes. It is better than the amount you got in Nexramus by a few cards, but still not as many as I would like. Anyways, that's it for this episode. I hope you're interested in that. I hope that was entertaining and informative. If you pre-order now for Blackrock Mountain, you will get this custom card back. There's still time. If you want to pre-order, it will be $24.99, at least in the US, of real money. If you wait, you will eventually be given the option to buy with gold. At least that's what I've heard. Blackrock Mountain comes out on April 2nd at midnight and 1 second. So that means April 1st, 11:59 rolls over, midnight hits, and that's when you can hire it. uh, you can start playing it. So I hope I hope you're ready for that. I hope you enjoy it. Get ready. Uh, if not, just play regular Hearthstone. It's still a great game. Anyways, that's the end of this announcement. As I always end my episodes asking you to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to my channel, comment on this video if you want to, and watch every second of all my videos because all of that helps me out with YouTube a lot. If you want to support me even further, you can support me through fan funding by clicking on my name, Rydo. That will take you to my main YouTube page. From there, you can see on the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click that. Any amount you donate will be greatly appreciated. If you want to follow me on Twitter or Google Plus, or friend me on Steam or Battle.net so you can play against me on Hearthstone, all of that information is down below in the description. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.